Hello everyone, we are now working with Chapter 5, Relationships in Microsoft Access, which I believe in your book starts on page 348. And we're essentially talking about one-to-one Microsoft Access relationships. Now, many-to-many relationships work very well in Access, but a one-to-one relationship requires a little more work to establish that. We don't contain any one-to-one relationships within our database right now, so we need to actually establish one. And the one that they'd like us to establish is a salesperson to vehicle, which we don't currently have as a table as of yet, so we're going to have to create that. But essentially what they're saying is that they want to give a salesperson a loaner vehicle that would be used as like a demo car. So only one vehicle to one salesperson. So that salesperson wouldn't use more than one vehicle, and that vehicle wouldn't be used by any other salesperson. So that establishes our one-to-one. So one salesperson per one vehicle. So the first thing that we need to do is to create a new vehicle table in our WMCRM vehicle table right here listed below. And these are the characteristics that are in there. So I'm going to go to our database. And the first thing I'm going to do, and I did this on purpose, is I'm going to save our database somewhere else. So we're going to say Chapter 5. Because I wanted to remind you that it's always easier to create a new, or just save your database as the chapter that you're working on so that you can always go backwards and correct your mistakes if you needed to. So if you have a completed version, say from Chapter 3, and you're working on Chapter 4 and you made a mistake, you can always close it out, don't save any changes, and go back and open up that Chapter 3 and start fresh, okay? All right, so I'm going to actually call this Chapter 5. And save that. So there we go. We're going to enable our content. So the first thing they want us to do is to create a table. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we're going to go to Table Design. And they want us to, let's see, use inventory ID as our primary key. And that's going to be an auto number. And they want us to do model, model. And that's going to be a text. It's only going to have 25 characters. I'll correct that in just 1 second. And then a VIN number, which is also a text. And that is going to be 35 characters. So first thing I'm going to do here is go here and say primary key. And it's a long integer. I don't have to do anything, but yes, no duplicates. We want to make sure that that's correct. And then under model, that's only going to be 25 characters. And yes, it's going to be required. So we're going to change that. And then under VIN number, we are going to change that to 35. And once again, that is going to be required. So again, all stuff you've done before, nothing new. And now we're just going to save our table as a vehicle. Okay, all set. Now you can see that that's been created there. Now we need to actually populate that information. So here we've got inventory ID, model, and VIN number. So I'm just going to pause the video for a second and populate that data for you, and I will be right back. Okay, you can see that I've gone ahead and populated it with all the information that you will find on page 349 at the bottom. So that's all set. But now, in order to link this to our salesperson, we need to add the vehicle ID as a foreign key in the salesperson table. So you can see right now that does not exist. So we're going to go ahead and go to Design View, and we're going to say Inventory ID. And we're going to say that that is a number, which is long integer. So that's all set. And we're going to go ahead and say save. So we will also say foreign key here. Sorry, I should have typed that in and save that change. So we're done with both of these tables. We can close those out. So then they want us to actually populate that information under the salesperson table. So it looks like on the bottom of page 350, it's telling you to please enter the inventory ID for Tina to be 4. And then for Billy is car number 7. And then Big Bill has car number 5. So now they're saying on the bottom of page, looks like 351, we need to establish a relationship between that new vehicle table and the salesperson table. So to do that, again, we're just going to go to Database Tools and Relationships, all things we've done before. And then we need to bring up the tables. So we could do Show Table up here. We could right-click and say Show Table here, and then say Vehicle, and there is our vehicle table. Okay. But now they're saying, let's establish a relationship between inventory ID and inventory ID. Let's do that. Enforce referential integrity and cascade our results. But see what happened just here. We have a one-to-many relationship. And that's not the relationship that we want. We said we wanted a one-to-one relationship, but it automatically does that in Access. So we're going to say create, and you could see a one-to-many relationship, and we're going to have to make some changes so that that doesn't happen. The changes that we need to make actually are under Salesperson. We're going to go back to our design view, and we're going to go back down to the inventory ID. And what we want to say here is we want to make changes to the indexed section. So where it says duplicates okay, we now want to say, no, we don't want duplicates at all. We want no duplicates. And what that does is establish that there could only be one-to-one, so one record to one salesperson, or one vehicle ID number to one salesperson. So once that's been completed, you can say save. And we have to go back here to our relationships, and we need to remove the relationship that exists currently. It says, you sure you want to do that? Yes, I do. And then once you've done that, you can establish the relationship again. And you can say now it says one-to-one. You can see, rather, it says one-to-one. And we're going to go ahead and enforce our referential integrity and cascade our results and say create. And now we have it correct. It's now one-to-one. And that's as simple as it is for this particular chapter. We'll go ahead and save what we've done and close that out. Now, when it comes time for you to do your actual exercise on page 357, you are going to have to do an ER diagram using this new relationship that we've set up. And you're also going to be using the WMCRM database version 2. Now, if you have not been doing the practices on your own, I'm going to go ahead and place that for you up on the Blackboard in the Chapter 5 folder so that you can access that, download it, and use it to actually finish this. Okay, if there's any questions, again, please reach out to me. Thanks so much.